Hey, Fandom, me Aaron for a comic show. We got a kind of a small week, but there's a few standout things, and let's get into it. Superman, truth, justice. I don't know what the third thing's going to be. Probably not the American way. But this is the issue where Lois Lane finally rips his clothes off. Like she rips it off and she goes, "Hey, you're Superman." We've known since the Free Comic Book Day issue that she outed Superman. We didn't really know why. We knew that she knew. Here we get a lot of stuff that maybe, it definitely hints at exonerating her. It definitely hints at that perhaps his identity was known and he was being blackmailed, and she decided to, get the exclusive, get the scoop, but also make it so like he can't be blackmailed if she outs him. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying that we get a lot more hints in this issue, and that's been the ongoing theory from bleedingcool.com, where all theories come from and go to and all that stuff. But it was a good issue. It was fun. I'm enjoying this Superman. I'm enjoying this run with all the books, with Batman, Superman, with Superman, Wonder Woman, with action, definitely. So it's doing something if it makes me actually care about all the books and not just, well, Superman's Jeff Johns, so that's cool, and Greg Pak's action's all right, and yeah, this is the whole line has a purpose and actually feels like it's moving towards something big altogether. And we also get stuff, hints about why he lost all his powers, or most of his powers, a lot of his powers. Justice League Gods and Monsters is the Superman one-shot. You probably already saw the movie. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. It's really dark, and so the animation has always been a little dark for DC at times, and this was definitely a dark animated series back to Bruce Timm. This is co-written by Bruce Timm, and it's cool. It's immigrant Superman, basically, and it's Zod, and he's definitely not altruistic. He's doing the right thing, but he by any means necessary, and I'm digging it. So Justice League Gods and Monsters, watch the DVD, and if you want backstory, origin, prequel type stuff, get it. Batgirl, this gave us more of Batgirl and Batman. Her dad, they don't know that, even though they're both like extremely intelligent and detective minded, they don't know each other as each other, and it's like fun. It's like, oh, I really hate that Spider-Man, Peter, but you are the best. It's like that thing. But like you got Batman's like, I might have to arrest you next time, Batgirl. But it's enjoyable. It's a highly enjoyable, very fun book. Great art. They put Livewire in it. It's awesome. The annual is fun. Don't put too much stock into the Grayson cover, because yes, there is a bit of a team up with Grayson in the front and then the first part of the story and blah, blah, blah. But then there's team ups with spoiler, there's team ups with Batwoman and Gotham Academy. It's basically a team up issue. It's like, hey, do you want to see Batgirl and Burnside interacting with all different Gothamites? Well, this is your issue, the annual. Cool. Deathstroke annual, mentioning this because it seriously does fit in between issue 8 and issue 9 of Deathstroke. So if you were getting Deathstroke, which I'm reading it, you know how I feel about it if you've watched the videos. It's enjoyable, even though, it's not what I want. I don't want a young man, two-eyed Deathstroke. I want an old, grizzled Deathstroke that's, has always been the best he is at what he does, but now he's slipping. And that's the Deathstroke I want. But Tony Daniel's doing an okay job with it. It's fun, it's beautiful. And Kirkham, who he got to draw this one, is enough in his style that it wasn't jarring. And if you read the book, get that. This I was excited about ever since I heard it was coming. Swamp Thing, the root of all evil. This has never been collected. And I know because I read this back in high school when it was coming out. And, I was a Vertigo nut. I got everything Vertigo did. On the down low, I would read my superhero DC, Justice League, Flash, Green Lantern stuff. But Vertigo was the stuff that, I told girls that I read because, like they, borrow my Sandman, it's great. But anyway, I didn't get any of those Sandmans back, and I had to buy them several times, but it's all good. I own a comic book store now. I'm not bitter. This Swamp Thing is Morrison and Mark Millar, and if you wonder, like, when did they co-write something together? They used to be buds. Like, seriously, Mark Millar used to be, like, Grant Morrison's protege, like his apprentice, perhaps. And they co-wrote this Swamp Thing, and they had a huge falling out. And, you can Google all over and find out all of that. And obviously, one went totally Hollywood by kick ass and all that, and the other one got screwed by Hollywood with the Invisibles being ripped off by the Matrix. But still, this book is great. Seriously, this is Swamp Thing, the Swamp God separated from Alec Holland. That what would a swamp elemental who is supposed to not protect humans, not protect flesh or fauna, but to protect the green, what would that swamp god do unbridled by a human tether? And what he would do is like, yeah, seriously, stop all this crap. Stop all this environmental destruction, and who cares about humans? And that's what you'll get with this. And it's not just this volume. There will be a second volume, but it's just the two. And this is what ended that original Swamp Thing run that Vertigo became after, Alan Moore stuff. And it seriously is a great ending, and it was never collected, so get it. Moving on, Star Wars 7. This is a one-shot by still Jason Aaron and Bianchi on art, and it's Tatooine. It's Obi-Wan. He's just so frustrated and can't do any Jedi stuff, and he can't train Luke, and why would he want to train another Skywalker when it went so badly before? So he doesn't really get into Uncle Owen's face about it. He kind of just stays off to the side and does little things that he can do on the sidelines, and that's what you get. However, having said that, it was pretty fun. It was pretty awesome getting like this old Obi-Wan's inner monologue, his reflections of what his life is after the war, after they lost the war, after all the Jedis were wiped out, what's going on in his mind. And that's that book that Luke recovered, and that's what you get this issue. It was fun. XMen 92. This book is just batshit crazy. This is just nuts. This is just, it's crazy convoluted. It's lots of colors. It's lots of variations of costumes. It's lots of characters, and then more characters. And then it's like, oh, now it's time for Cable and Deadpool and all thems and Dominoes and nutty stuff. But if you were a fan of the cartoon, if you were a fan of X-Men in this era, in the Jim Lee era, the cartoon era, you're going to love it. You seriously will love it. It doesn't matter that it's Secret Wars. It doesn't matter if you read Secret Wars. If you were a fan of that era of X-Men, and seriously, if you were the right age and reading comics at the time, you were, so get it, and you will enjoy it. It is insane. And Thors, this is one of my favorite Battle World books, one of my favorite Secret Wars tie-ins. It's Jason Aaron, and it's all Thors. It's all the Thors, and they're investigating murders. It's like CSI Thors. They're like not space cops because they're not really in space. They're just going around and solving murders, and sometimes Thors get murdered, and they're all there, all of them. Like the Frog Thor, the Beta Ray Thor, the Mohawk Storm Thor, they're all there, even the Unworthy Thor. It's fun, it's cool, and it's still Jason Aaron, so it's not just some throwaway book like, oh, I don't want to read that, I'm reading the main title, I don't need to read it. It's Jason Aaron who doesn't do throwaway books, and it's a lot of fun, and it's Thor. Moving on to the Image stuff. Last week I talked about Lescott's Wolf. I love that. It's his best work yet, I think. It was very well received, but I thought I'd mention material. This is issue 3 of material. I'm enjoying this. This is very heady, very mind-expanding type of concepts. It has a gun on it, but there's no guns used in it. Lescott hates guns, even toy guns. And he's just doing pretty awesome things. Like, I have a lot of respect for the guy. Met him personally, signed here. I'm not just like some fanboy in his fan club that he would disown if there was one, because he's not interested in fandom. He's interested in writing stuff and pushing the envelope and doing great things, and he is. So if you want to get deeper into some of the concepts that L.S. Scott speaks of in his other work, get material, and you probably won't be disappointed. It's weird. Southern Bastards, number 10, the Jasons. This is the issue that we've all been waiting for. Death to the flag, long live the South. And if you are pissed off about the Confederate flag being ripped up, I mean, they kind of got you here, because the proceeds of this issue are going to the victims of the shooting. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing, and I'm excited about that. And I personally feel like they're martyrs. They were killed for political reasons by a domestic terrorist, a dude that waved this flag. You've seen it, and to me, I'm Southern, always been Southern. I mean, my mom was even born here. I love the South. You know, I'm not like some kind of like business suit dude, but seriously, that flag is not, okay, so you like Dukes of Hazzard, that's fine. That's fine. You can still like Dukes of Hazzard. That's not what I'm talking about. And, you know, you could have family members that respect that flag, but we don't need to, like, worship our ancestors. That's freaking weird. But the thing is, the flag, the meaning of that flag in modern uses is against segregation. It's, you know, you can say states' rights, but what were the states' rights? The states' rights were against segregation, against black kids being able to go to school with white kids, and that's why that flag went up there in South Carolina, and thankfully it came down. So that's why the flag was there. That's what the flag represents to tons of people. So, you know, you can be about Southern pride when it's about sweet tea and collard greens and family and all that stuff, and, you know, family reunions and stuff like that, but to be about something that this flag means something completely different to people that have been oppressed by it, and this flag, and they're Southerners too, and I just don't care about the flag. I just don't give a shit about that flag, you know? I mean, it was used to oppress people. It was used to be a symbol of, hey, we don't want desegregation. So, you know, that's what it is. And, you know, even if you like the flag and are conflicted, know that the money's going to the victims. And we're all against people being murdered, right? Cool. And finally, something completely different. Sex criminals. There's 2 covers. It's bagged. And then, you know, when you get into this, it's actually double bagged. There's like another bag just in case, like, you have this sketch variant that might be a dick. Because when you open up this bag, it has this cardboard over it, and oh, I didn't get the sketch. I got something that doesn't need to be bagged. There's no dicks here. There's just 0 dicks on the cover. There's dicks inside. There's manime dicks. It's actually called manime, and there's a sex criminal guy that has anime-related sex powers, which was freaking awesome. And if you get sex criminals, this is the first issue after Volume 2. So if you bought Volume 1, you bought Volume 2, get this. Seriously, get it. They're making it so cool to get. I mean, and this one, I have not opened this. I don't know what it looks like. This is the Bryan Lee O'Malley variant. I guess the O's in quotes for orgasm, but you know him from Scott Pilgrim in Seconds. This one's a little more money. It's $4.69, and it says, get it, do you get it? So let's just see what this one is. So, you know, I'm expecting something X-rated on this one since, you know, it says XXX cover, and yeah, this is freaking awesome. This is a badass cover. Thank you, Image Comics. Thank you, Bryan Lee O'Malley. I actually love this cover, and I'm keeping this cover for myself. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.